Hello friends, it's Simone. It is, I don't know, Tuesday evening. I have the weirdest fingers, but that's not what counts. I received my highly anticipated weekly journal for 2025. It came, I opened the package. This is what was inside. Oh, there's one more thing in there. What is that? A little vinyl sticker. I pre-ordered the Take a Note A5 planner from Nico Nico sometime in August, beginning of September. And then, after I had pre-ordered it, I have heard quite some things about the paper that is in here. That made me a little antsy and wondering if this will be working for my plans. I love the box, man. This is so beautiful. It's a really dark gray. On the screen, it looks kind of greenish and it leans green. But it's a beautiful presentation. I need to take the time to, well, no, I don't. This is the 10-year journey, 10th anniversary, 2025 heartfelt thanks. Share with hashtag TAN_planner. And then here is a bookmark, or actually a pencil board with a 2025 yearly overview. I really like this. Let me see if I think this is the best I can get in color closeness. Let's see what's on here. This is how thick the planner is. I do not think I have a Hobonichi cousin here to compare sizes. 2025 Take a Note schedule planner regular. Welcome page. There's everything that's in here. English version with moon phase without public holidays. And the main thing that I'm here for is for an extensive pen test. The pens that I tend to use in my planner. That's what I want to know, which is fountain pens. Quite a different variety of those. I have, I want to swatch an ink just because I want to see it. If I'm here with fountain pens, I want to use my watercolor palette. I have also brought out, I don't normally use Tombow markers, but I just want to see what it looks like. But these pens are pens that I have used in my weekly journal this year. This is a Zig Clean Color Dot Marker, a Zebra Click Art pen, a Sailor Shikiori brush pen. This is a felt tip fine liner. I won this several years ago. It's still working, so not going to replace it. This is kind of very affordable on Amazon. And then this is a, don't know, Pentel brush pen with black ink, I believe, but I'm not really sure. This is what it looks like. So let's open up the plastic so you don't get any glare anymore. I have a cover on cover, but I'm not going to put that on right now. The binding is open here. This way it can lay flat. Let's quickly look at this. The paper does feel nice. It's supposed to be, well, no, not supposed to be. This is 68gsm Sanzen Tomoe River Paper. There is a yearly overview, the last 4 months of 2024, 2025, the first 4 months of 2026. This could be a tracker. Then we have the year, 6 months on 2 pages, so 12 months on 4. Then this is the monthly. I like the way it is laid out, I have to say. This could be a really awesome planner. There's page numbers on all of those. I like the minimal design. This is very, very lovely. I have never had a take-a-note planner before, but I've always, ever since they, not since they came out, but very shortly after I got into this Tomoe River Paper stuff, I was attracted to this planner, but I have never actually used one. The weeks are on 2 pages, or 4 pages, 2 spreads. We have a week, horizontal week on the first page on the left side. Then we have 3 days, vertical layout, and then 4 days, and then the next week. And hopefully we have some pages that this is all the weeks. So this would give me, if the paper works for my purposes, would give me 2 A5 spreads per week. So I would go up from a traveler's notebook size to 1 page, 1 spread in traveler's notebook size to 2 spreads per week in A5. Sounds daunting, but also I'm really excited. And let's just start with the first thing. I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this page, but I'm going to put a pencil board underneath on this side. But also, I don't really know what I'm going to do if this completely fails. I have seen that Danielle from my Dandelion Diaries did a pen test. I have the video on my watch later list. It's actually the next video that I'm going to watch. But I'm so far behind that I haven't watched it yet. And so I decided instead of watching it, I'm just going to do the pen test right now. And want to see how this behaves. Well, first things first, it did not bleed through. I don't know how okay I will be with, I don't have anything to hold this. This is Birmingham Pen Co. Pew's Lagoon, by the way. So let's test the next fountain pen, and then I also need this. This is a Pilot Parallel. This is Vinta Lakbai. It sits on top. It doesn't look like it's bleeding or spreading out much. Okay, put it over here. Let's just go through all the fountain pens for now. This is my pen that I most use in my journal. This is an architect nib on the reverse. And then this is TWSBI Mini. The writing feels a bit broader. I should do this. Definitely at least do it and then come back and share my results in my Sanzen Traveler's Notebook that I'm using currently, just to be able to compare. This is a Cello Pro Gear, Cello Pro Gear. Yeah, it looks bigger. Pro Gear. I'm not really... Because I have a bigger page, it doesn't really matter if the writing or if the nib sizes feel bigger. Well, what is this? Yeah, it definitely feels broader. In my current ink journal Gears with a broad nib. In my current ink journal, I have Cosmo Air light paper that notoriously broadens nibs. This is a Pilot Custom. This works really well, actually. 743 with a medium nib. And it actually, you can get used to it. It's not a game changer for me or a breaking the, oh, it bled through here. Stamping I wanted to do too. This is a Tombow. Oh, no, I'm curious. You can see my flex skills are really brush. I was super nervous that this will not work at all. To me right now, this looks like I could totally live with how this paper is working out. Let's see watercolor. What if I put more water in? Let's grab this here. So there's a lot of water on this here, and then I don't really know what to say, what to talk about, so I'm really quiet right now. It might not necessarily be my very favorite way of putting watercolor to paper. I definitely like the original Tomoe River Paper, but it's not bleeding through. That's the most important thing. Ghosting I have with all of the with all the papers. This is a fine liner. And what I'm going to do is probably I will swatch all of those pens in my current journal, which is somewhere over the rainbow, not here. Oh, right here. This is the Sterling Ink Weekly N1 Vertical Part 2. So this was a Traveler's Notebook insert. And I will go back here and do a pen test on this page with exactly the same setup that I had here. So we can, when I come back, we can compare. Zebra Click Art. And I want to stamp. And this is Dot. And then this one is the I watched Aziza's Inky Messes. I think she calls them differently last night. And she did some flex nib writing. And it looked so easy and I wanted to do it. And now I'm using this brush pen and it's like, okay, no. My black ink is not here. I'm gonna grab that in a second. This is archival ink from Ranger. It is acid-free, permanent, and waterproof. This is chalk ink that sits on top of the paper. It should not bleed through. This is not, I don't even know if they're still available. Versa Magic, I believe, is the chalk ink brand from Tsukineko.
So far, so good. Let me grab the black ink.
VersaFine is my go-to ink pad. It stamps even fine lines precisely. I think it's still the same one that I purchased 10 years ago. And it works. It's okay. So the quick result of this swatching and testing is that I will be able to use this as my 2025 weekly journal. I am so relieved. You can't even believe it. Let's look at what I'm seeing. So we have, let's come closer. Come closer. Alrighty. We have, sorry. I can see that the fountain pen writing in general, especially for the Pilot Custom 743 as well as the Nagasawa Gierske, is definitely broader. It feels like it takes the ink differently. Even the lines of the writing of the Twiz here for TWSBI Mini and Sailor Pro Gear, these look skinnier. It doesn't, well, I'm not measuring this, but I think these are skinnier as well, but it doesn't feel that bad as it does with this Nagasawa Gierske specifically. So what else? The ink colors look slightly different, especially in this swatch. You can see that this is much darker here. This is lighter. To me, it seems like it even almost picks up more nuance than here. This is Birmingham Pen Co. Puce Lagoon. The shimmer is okay for the Vintalak by, and what else? The watercolor, there is people who like watercoloring on Tomoe River Paper and people who don't. I personally really liked the original Tomoe River Paper and the way the watercolor behaved on that paper. It is different on Sanzen, but it's not as bad that I would not use this anymore. Oh, wow. Look at this. Did I do this? Did I do this? Yep. For sure. I don't know when this happened, but this is something to keep in mind. You can see I'm smudging the ink that I stamped on here. Now, all the other pens, I need to pull this closer to see if it feathered. Not the 743. No. No. I don't think there was any feathering on this paper. There is no feathering on this paper either. All of the pens that I used worked on the paper. Again, it did not feather, it did not, yeah, feathering is something that I'm not sure that I like. Maybe the dots here. The Sailor, well, I'm not a brush pen person, but let me try. I I feel like there's more shading visible here than it is here. I hope this is, you can see what I'm talking about. Can you see how this just looks more, you can see where I added a second layer basically of brush strokes, where here it is visible as well, but not as nuanced again, as I said earlier. I'm not sure if the brush strokes are even bigger on, or pen strokes besides fountain pens are thicker. This is chalk ink, it sits on top, it feels weird. These two stamps came out better on this here than they did here, but I think I pressed too hard on this this green one here. The only one that I'm concerned with is the National State City Park one. Maybe I did this before. It might sit on top and not dry or need a longer dry time. So bleed through. There's chocolate here. That's not good in a notebook. The zebra click art, you can see the dots come through. The dot, clean color dot liner did not bleed through. The Sailor brush pen, the Tombow, the watercolor, everything worked except for the click art zebra pen. And then stamp ink, this is what I experience every time I use stamps in this planner or journal. Chalk ink sits on top of paper, so it does not penetrate the paper, just sits on top. So there is no bleed through here. However, both of the ink pads, the Ranger Archival as well as the VersaFine ink, bled through. Let's check here. There is some slight bleed through or coming through the paper here. This is the Shimmer Ink Winterlack by up here. I might see some dots here where it might want to come through here on the TWSBI Mini. Everything else, surprisingly, even though I put more ink down on the Nagasawa as well as the Pilot, nothing happened here. The swatch came through. Well, came through. There's 3 little dots that suggest that if you add too much water or if there is more ink here, it might come through. And then we have the same thing as with the zebra click art. There's some dots right here, there's some here. This might also bleed through, especially if you let your pen rest on the paper for too long. Nothing with the fine liner, the dot liner, the Ranger Archival ink here. Depending on how long, probably how much ink is on the stamp, it might bleed through. The VersaFine, I have not found a paper that it doesn't bleed through. Like the original Tomoe River Paper, the 68gsm original, the 68 Sanzen, the 52 Sanzen, it all bleeds through. It's just a matter of how much does it bleed through. And I'm talking about bleed through. You can see these dots here. There is ghosting. Obviously, this is, for me, this is part of this type of paper. If you do not want ghosting, you should not use this paper, period. I'm really very, very relieved This is paper that I can work with. Yes, there might be some occasions when it bleeds through, and I will deal with it on a case-to-case basis, but it's not something that I can have to rule out from the beginning. And I'm extremely excited about that because I don't know any other planner that, planner. I'm using it as a journal, but I don't know any other planner that has this kind of layout. And I can talk about why I want a pre-dated something on the page as a journal book in another video, but I did not want a plain grid notebook for this purpose. So I'm happy. I probably will film a 2025 lineup in the coming months and possibly set this up with you or not. I don't really know, actually. I'm just gonna do whatever I enjoy, and when I feel like I want to set this up and I have a camera available in time, then I will take you along. If not, I will just show you the result. But I'm gonna stop talking about this now. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you are going to use a taken out planner in 2025, what size you're going to use, and what you will be using it for. I'm looking forward to your comments down below. Thank you so much. Until then, bye.